I'm Rich Lund, and welcome to another episode of Indy Labs, where we put the science in your hands. For those not aware, we are currently in the midst of an entomology photography contest, which is definitely Pokemon inspired. Back at the start of September, right on the heels of the Pokemon Go craze, I put forth the challenge for you to find some of the most interesting insects you can and tweet out the best photos possible. Each tweeted out photo is an entry, and prizes include t-shirts, keychains, decal transfers, you name it. Well, no, don't name it. Those are the three things that are the prizes. The deadline for entries, which must be through Twitter, is rapidly approaching, November 30th, 11:59 p.m. For full details on how the contest works, if you haven't yet, check out Indy Labs number 15, Pokemon Go Style Entomology Part 1. This is Part 2. So for this episode of Indy Labs, things are a little bit different. I first just wanted to give you an update on how the contest is going and some tips for any last minute entries that are coming my way. We have had some excellent entries so far, and a lot of them. I can already tell my job of sorting through all these and finding the 6 best is not going to be an easy one. So I just already wanted to be sure to thank all the people who have already entered this. You've made it a great contest already. Let me give you a couple of tips though. First, I've seen some awesome photographs of spiders, millipedes, centipedes, etc. I'm sorry, but because of how I defined it in the first video, it's gotta be an insect. So the easy way to tell, we're looking for 6 legs. More than 6 legs, you don't have an insect. I think some of those photos are amazing too, but you could understand if I did have something that wasn't an insect win the contest, or even just a runner-up, I might have some people angry with me. The next tip, as mentioned in the original video, you gotta use 2 hashtags. Hashtag Indy Labs and hashtag entomology. And maybe I should have stressed this the first time around, but spelling does count, particularly with hashtags. There is no autocorrect when it comes to hashtags. You can spell whatever you want to after that pound symbol. And come December 1st, I'm already going to have a lot of work on my hands trying to sort through all these photos. I gotta be honest here. I'm not going to go search the hashtag misspelling barren wastelands of Twitter trying to find your entry. So if you gave it the hashtag entomology or entomology, I'm probably not going to see it. So for future entries, double check your spelling. And if you did already do one and you goofed, hey, just retweet it with the correct hashtags. It'll be in the contest. Now with all that said, back in August, I took a trip to New Orleans for a few different reasons. Primarily, I wanted to reconnect with a longtime friend that I grew up with, Phillip Norman. He moved there about 9 years ago and I hadn't seen him since. So awesome to get to see this guy. Now some icing on the cake though was that being down in New Orleans, this was an awesome opportunity to check out some entomology that New Orleans has to offer that I usually can't find around my Michigan stomping grounds. I had no idea what I was in for. Turned out I was in for a lot of non-stop rain. Still, there were some NOLA insects that were willing to weather the storm and still make an appearance for me. But what really bailed me out and made sure there was still an awesome episode to show you was that New Orleans has an insectarium. That's right, a museum devoted to insects. Oh yeah, and another major goal of mine, I wanted to catch with my Pokemon Go app a Pikachu specifically from New Orleans. Kind of like a little souvenir of my trip. Since now when you catch a Pokemon, it'll actually tell you where it's from, I wanted one that says New Orleans, Louisiana. So if you're willing to go a little bit back in time with me, let me show you what this incredible city, the Big Easy, had to offer. Let's go. Ah, New Orleans, the Big Easy. This is a city that is thriving with culture. Great music, great food, beautiful architecture, such a history. This is the birthplace of jazz. My man, Louis Armstrong, grew up here. And it's a city that's seen rough times, but it just does not quit. It's known also for a nightlife that is so vibrant and so easygoing. And a little hint of pseudoscience, as Hollywood movies have tried to tell us. But if you're looking for magic, it's not in the boutiques, it's up on the stage. I am here with my good friend Phillip Norman.
What's happening?
And we are in beautiful New Orleans. And I couldn't help but think, with the Pokemon Style Entomology that we've been doing, what kind of new insects can I find here in New Orleans that I can't find in Michigan?
There's a lot of them. We'll see some stuff.
Or at least that was the plan. We're also gonna visit
The Insectarium.
New Orleans has an insectarium. I am like a kid in a candy store here. Let's see what we can find. the most impressive insect you've seen in New Orleans your time here?
A giant grasshopper. It's about that big. It's crazy.
Friends?
Nah, not really. We just kind of looked at each other and went our separate ways. It's the Insectarium. Come on, let's go.
Remember those cockroaches we saw last night?
They're pretty big.
Yeah, they're big brothers.
Look at you, bro. Yeah, buddy.
Locusts. We've got the Chinese mantis in Michigan, so I was hoping to catch one out in the field, but for now, they've eluded me. So I'm going to go ahead and catch this one right here. Smile. Next time you're at work, you do not get to complain about having to work hard, because you are not working as hard as these guys are.
Oh, look at that one's got like a gigantic head. Do you see that huge one?
That's one of the soldiers.
Word. He's telling everybody what to do. Y'all need to work harder, son. He's cracking the whip.
With all this excitement, we were feeling a little bit hungry, and luckily the Insectarium offers some highly nutritious treats free of charge. So we're about to have our own, Andrew Zimmerman moment?
Zimmer.
I'm excited.
We're about to have our own Andrew Zimmerman moment.
It's not Zimmerman.
What is it?
Zimmern.
We're about to have our own Anderman Zimmer. We're about to have our own Andrew Zimmer moment because they have at the Insectarium some insects for you to eat.
I'm excited.
What do you want to try first?
That Cajun spice.
Home style waxworms, southern, chipotle, chili.
Full of protein.
It isn't bad. Crickets. It was going to be tough to beat those previous waxworms. Crickets are like moisture. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing.
It's not the first time I've eaten a cricket.
Cinnamon crunch waxworms.
I'm still stuck on the crickets. They're pretty good.
Emphasis on the crunch for those cinnamon crunch waxworms.
Hey, can I have one of your crickets?
You can have a cricket.
Thank you.
With our hunger satisfied with lots of protein and exoskeletons, we were ready for more. What are these?
Dung beetles.
He's climbing an entire mountain of feces.
Getting stuff done with poop.
Butterfly house.
Pretty. It's a tiger longwing.
Look familiar? Dorcas titanus. Dork. Now I wish I could say that the story continues with us going out and finding many NOLA insects, but it just wasn't in the cards. This was day 2, and here's some footage from day 3.
Yeah, day 3, New Orleans. This is going to try to make insect photography a little bit more challenging today. I should also mention that with the 100% humidity that has been nearly constant here, I've pretty much given up doing anything to try to tame this hair. It just does what it wants. We're going to still go at it, see what we can find.
Well, we found lots of rain. And we also found the house Anne Rice used to live in when she wrote Interview with a Vampire. So that was cool. On day 4, we found a lizard. He too was looking for insects. Hope he found some.
Hello.
Even some snails came out to greet us. And this here pretty much sums up day 5. By this time in the trip, I was unfortunately willing to admit some temporary defeat. But while at the airport, I was able to score some voodoo-flavored potato chips, which I drowned my sorrows in, having not found too many New Orleans insects, nor a New Orleans Pikachu. New Orleans, or as my good friend Philip corrected me a severe number of times, Norlands. I don't care how wet it was during my stay there. Your city treated me with such a high caliber of hospitality, I know I'm going back someday. The food, the music, and the science was so intense. I couldn't get enough. I love the people there. I love the culture there. I love your city. So while I might not have caught a lot of photographs of insects specific to New Orleans, the local insects that did show up, and definitely the local people, really made me feel welcome. And the Insectarium was amazing. And while it might not have been that Pikachu I wanted, I did catch some pretty cool things. Caught this authentic handmade New Orleans voodoo doll. Hey, come on, I know it's pseudoscience, but still, the craftsmanship alone in this thing makes it awesome. Her name's Stacy. And while it wasn't a Pikachu, one evening, Norman and I were at a cafe, just, out of the way, a real slice of New Orleans. We sat down for some coffee and a nice chess game, and during which, my very first pincer spawned for me. A little bit more fitting considering the entomology theme, I do think. The professor's never seen this one. But still, I gotta admit, it sticks in my craw that I didn't get that New Orleans Pikachu. Hey, if you enjoyed this Indy Labs, please subscribe to the channel and give it that thumbs up like, it always helps. There's a lot of different Indy Labs to check out from the past, and definitely some new ones on their way in the future. We have lots of ideas. I'm Rich Lund, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. And that especially goes for you, NOLA Pikachu. Man, where were you at?
Your name is Victor, when at this game you'll lose. I never asked for this. My soul was at peace, but you had no chance at making friends, so instead you made me. I've been unleashed, and it's justice that I seek. Evil seeds you've sown have grown, and it's time to reap.
So who's the monster? Who's the real monster? Is it the creature, or is it the doctor? Who's the monster? Who's the real monster? The use of violence or misuse of science?
Oh, we're going to, hey.